Following on from a previous project where I translated my Instagram ads into letterpress prints, I began by making 100 letterpress iterations of the word skint. Skint is a slang term meaning to have little or no money. I found the contradiction between the meaning of the word and the original Instagram ad intriguing. Each print resulted in a different reading of the word skint. In Why Fonts Matter, Sarah Hindman stated that type is a supraliminal communicator. Supraliminal communicators are within the threshold of our perception. Similarly to soundtracks and smells, they can cultivate atmospheres to enhance our experiences and ultimately stimulate desire. According to Ruben Pater, designers have taken on the role of the salesperson. We are constantly bombarded by ads on the street, public transport, in publications, computers, and phones. The 50 iterations of the word attention set in the typefaces of advertising on the tube depict the different voices calling out for me to look. Whether they are selling or informing, they are all demanding our attention. During my research, I came across Barbara Kruger's catalogue from her 2014 exhibition at Modern Art, Oxford. Kruger's exhibition critiqued the social and political consequences of mass distraction. Her three-dimensional work appropriated the visual language of sensational headlines. It required the viewer to physically interact with the space in order to decipher her statements. The exhibition took the viewer out of their phones and into reality. The medium is the message. Therefore, I started recontextualizing her statements within my own targeted Instagram ads. Her statements distort the original narrative of the ads. Since the exhibition, we have witnessed the power social media can have in political campaigns. Rather than distracting the masses from engaging in politics, we are now constantly inundated with sensational political dramas. As Kruger predicted in 2014, increased communication has resulted in increased consumption of both material possessions and information. I then started translating the headlines from the Daily Mail through the form of Kruger's work. The design of the Kruger catalogue interlaces narratives which requires the viewer to physically interact with the publication in order to comprehend its meaning. When browsing the Daily Mail website, my gaze was often drawn towards the images rather than the texts. Therefore, I recreated a smaller version of the publication, only including the images from the corresponding articles. These low-resolution images were chosen to craft sensational stories. I began to explore the connection between advertising headlines and images. The ephemeral nature of these mediums and their low status reflects the discussions from In Defense of the Poor image. We are living in a reality that values speed, intensity, drama, and quantity. Donna Haraway suggested that every perspective is inherently subjective. In our digitally curated world, the algorithms show us content we are guaranteed to like. We see what we want to see. We are completely shielded by our own perspective. Kruger also suggested that a healthy balance of belief and doubt are essential to operating in a sane society. For my final iterations, I continued exploring how design can impart awareness. Awareness as a form of doubt. Quantity over Quality is a newspaper compiled of the headlines, images, and ads from 4 tabloid newspapers published between the 19th to the 24th of May 2022. Each spread encourages the viewer to physically interact with the paper in order to gain an understanding of the narrative. By manipulating our perspective, we can stimulate awareness and therefore question the authority of media.